A lot of people were disappointed in the WrestleMania because Cody didn't win. But he's just getting started here.
Talking about Drew McIntyre and his upcoming free agency, we have to talk about free agency in general, because that kind of brings up the first two topics we talked about together, because a lot of people have been talking about the fact that certain free agents have chosen to go to AEW, or people that were about to be free agents as of late. Someone like Switchblade Jay White, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, one of the top guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The beginning of the year, when his contract expired, a lot of people pegged that he was on his way to WWE, and we had various reports from WrestleVotes and Fightful that said that WWE were heavily interested in him. Triple H and William Regal both wanted to bring him in, but there is apparently some type of hiring freeze in WWE, and the communication fell through, leading to Jay White to debut in AEW on the April 5th edition of AEW Dynamite. He has now officially signed there. You have another group like FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, whose contracts were set to expire in April. They have re-signed with AEW and are sticking around there. They say that it's due to the schedule and, wanting to be with their families, but also give back to wrestling, and always feeling like when they were with Vince McMahon, they felt like a number instead of a human being, and Tony Khan treats them like a human being. So it was a number of factors there. But what do you think about this whole, what seems to be a hiring freeze with WWE first, that since Vince McMahon has come back into power with becoming executive chairman of the board of directors, WWE in 2023 has not signed anyone? So what do you think is going on behind the scenes?
Well, the hiring freeze, this is really the first I've been hearing about it from you. And right now, I heard it from you. I mean, I didn't know they had a hiring freeze. But since you tell me they do, I don't know why. But I actually think they have more people than they can take care of now. See, that's the purpose of creative. Now, I'm going to go back years and years ago. In the territory days, we didn't have 30 guys, 40 guys, because we couldn't support 30 or 40 guys. We couldn't. We'd have 16 guys in the territory, 14 to 16. So we had to take what we had and mold it and mesh it to where it was interesting enough for a fan to buy a ticket to come out. And now these guys, they stick them on NXT and warehouse them for 4 years, 5 years. They never make it to the main roster. And they got more people than they really can use right now. That might be one reason for a hiring freeze. They don't need anybody. Now you're talking about, what's his name, Jay White?
Yeah.
Is that his name? I watched a little bit of him, and you said he was supposed to be coming in. To do what? Just, you're not going to see him, because when they bring somebody in, if we're watching SmackDown, you might see a guy a little bit, and then he's gone. He may be gone for 6 months, and he didn't go to Raw. Where'd he go? He went home, I guess, which is good for the talent. I mean, just to get some rest. But most of the time, they take opportunities with most of that talent and basically miss it. Because you can't be on TV 1 week and get a win, and then they don't see you again for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Because then you're here, and people have to do a story with you for people to remember you. So I think this is really creative's fault. And AEW is the same thing. Jay White he went to AEW, right? Yeah. What they're going to do, you're going to see him, then you won't see him again for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's going to be the same thing. They talk about wrestling being in a boom phase. Well, for some people maybe, but for a lot of the talent, if you're not in that Triple H mix, I mean, if you're out of the boat, you're in the water and you're swimming for your life. So we'll see what it does, but That's my thoughts on it, because I think, how many people does WWE have on a contract? Just don't say on the Raw roster. How many people you think they have right now?
Probably on Raw alone, maybe like 50 to 60.
And SmackDown,
Probably the
same.
same amount. Yeah, maybe a little bit less.
So you tell me 120 guys. I mean, 120 guys in the old territory system. That'd be enough to stock 8 territories. 6 anyway. At 20 guys. But if you had less, you have to do more. Creative is expected to do more with the talent they have, because they didn't have any more. But now creative can say, oh, well, if we get stuck here, we'll just bring some guys in and this, that, and the other. I don't know where that kind of a thought process came in. I don't understand that. But I think they, creative for SmackDown, I thought did a bang-up job leading into WrestleMania. It was great. They took their time. They had patience. That Roman Reigns going for the record of the 1,000 days or whatever, the Sami Zayn and the Kevin Owens, a masterful story. And now we got to go back. And I do like what Triple H said in his press release, or his video appearance. The story's never finished. And that's what you got to, and they're going to pick this story up, give it a little time, and give them a month and they'll be right back. I mean, as hot as it was. See, a lot of people were disappointed in the WrestleMania because Cody didn't win. But he's just getting started here. And they're going to restart it with him. And Sammy will be a continuation. And I expect them to probably lose the titles within the next, what's the next pay-per-view?
Backlash.
I won't lose it on that. SummerSlam, maybe. I think they may lose it, and now they're back in the running too. Because baby faces, the good guys have to be the chasers. And if the heel chases well, nobody will buy a ticket to see the bad guys win. They're not going to do it. But they will buy a ticket and take a pay-per-view to see the good guys win. So it's like a college football team. If you're like Delaware State or something, and Georgia comes in to play football, well, you may go see Georgia, but you're not going to see Delaware win, because you know they're not going to win. And they'll probably draw a crappy crowd anyway. But we'll see. We'll be watching SmackDown every Friday night. Me and you, Sid. We have a date every Friday night.